I'm talking about Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold's coming back to the middleweight division and he will be fighting none other than Paulo Costa. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. The man's incredible. He was the Strikeforce champion, looked absolutely sensational over there, came over to the UFC, and other than losing to Vitor Belfort, who as we know was roided out of his mind, he did spectacular things, ran through most of the division, beat Chris Weidman, became champion, defended the belt in an absolute display of utter domination against Lyoto the Dragon Machida. Luke Rockhold, you know, the man's got a lot to give. Now he's getting on, I think he's 36 or 7 or 8, something like that. Let's have a look. There he is, 37 years old. So he's still in his prime. However, since I beat him, that was 2006. Sorry, 2016.
Are you intoxicated?
So that was 6 years ago, and he hasn't fought much since then. Yes, he fought David Branch. He beat him, I believe. He lost to Yoel Romero, and he got knocked out as well against Jan Blachowicz. Now, Jan Blachowicz went on to become the light heavyweight champion, so not really any shame there. No shame whatsoever. But he's got a lot to give. I see him down at the Ruka gym. Athletically, he's still fast as lightning. He can still throw those high kicks. He's still jumping through the air. Still very athletic. The problem for Luke was kind of his defense, and sometimes he would be his own worst enemy because he's got incredible tools. I mean, he's a freak athlete, as does Paulo Costa. So coming in for Luke, this is a risky one. 37 years old. If he wants to make a comeback, this is it. And this might be his final one. 37 years old, the door of opportunity, the window of opportunity, should I say, is certainly closing. But if he can come back, beat Paulo Costa, that's one of the top ranked guys in the division, well, that creates some interesting opportunities. That puts Luke Rockhold right back in the mix. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure what Paulo Costa's ranked, but it's high, 4 or 5, something like that. You've got Adesanya, you've got Whittaker, Marvin Vettori, and then probably Paulo Costa, something like that, I would have thought. So he's one of the top guys. And Adesanya needs fresh blood. Adesanya's got fresh blood in Jared Cannonier later this year in the summer. And if Luke Rockhold coming in as a former champion, as a household name, very well known to the mixed martial arts public, and again, being so dreamy just to look at, you would think that this guy could fast track to a title fight. And him versus Israel Adesanya, I mean, listen, you got to favour Adesanya. The man's a dominant champion. The man other than Anderson Silva is the greatest middleweight we've seen. Rockhold can give him a good fight. I mean, athletically, I think Rockhold can match him. He's very tall, not as tall as Izzy, but not far off. So reach-wise, things like that, they're going to be similar. Grappling-wise, I give Rockhold an advantage in the grappling all day long. Now, momentum, that certainly goes on the side of Israel Adesanya. The man's the dominant champion and he's defended the belt I don't know how many times right now. But still, Luke, buddy, I wish you nothing but all the best. Of course, may the best man win. Paulo Costa, Luke Rockhold, sensational matchup in the middleweight division. I enjoy seeing Luke back. I will be rooting for him, of course. Anytime you share the octagon with somebody, you always want them to do well.
What makes the decision for Luke Rockhold to come back after 2 years away and you say, you know what, I want the guy that just fought for the championship very recently?
It's legacy. It's contentment in the end of this career. You know, I want contentment to say I did everything I could to be the best I could in this game, just like contentment in death. I don't believe in contentment. I believe in contentment at the end of what you do. You know, at the end of the game, at the end of life, you want to be content that you did everything you fucking possible to be who the fuck you are. So I want the contentment that at the end of this fight game, knowing that I gave it my all. I don't think I fucking fought to my abilities the last couple fights. I think I fought compromised and not with a mindset. I believe I can reset myself. I can go in there and I can put myself back into that state of mind where I'm at my best. So I know I'm in a fight. I know I'm in a fight, and that's what gets my blood pumping. That's what gets me up every day, and that's what gets me wanting to do this thing. You know, I know Paulo Costa's dangerous, of course, but I think he's got cheat.
Why was he the guy though?
The UFC liked it. I was open for anybody in the top positions that's going to launch me into a situation, and Paulo was brought to my attention from the UFC, and I was like, you know what? And it started growing.
Yeah.
Is it a winnable fight? Absolutely. But is there a lot of danger in that fight?
Yes.
Absolutely. Because we've seen Paulo Costa at his best. And even when we've seen him lose his last fight at 205, he still looked pretty good. He was in the fight.